Hi, I'm Katie Stolp. I'm the local history librarian at Appleton Public Library, and today we're going to go through a brief overview of the Appleton Public Library's Post-Crescent Index, which is one of our many databases that we have available through the library for free. The Post-Crescent Index is a selective index of the Post-Crescent newspaper, which is our local Appleton newspaper. We do have newspapers dating all the way back to 1853 in the area, with several daily and weekly newspapers in the beginning of time. Then in 1920, the Appleton Post and Appleton Crescent merged to create the Post-Crescent, which is the name the newspaper uses today. The purpose of the index was to index articles that feature a significant current and historical information rather than completely indexing every single article in the newspaper. Therefore, the index has a specific emphasis on local politics, major community events, important social issues, prominent local people, local businesses and organizations, and education. Therefore, if you're looking for something like crime, sports, state news, national and international news, cartoons, comics, advertisements or want ads, or obituaries, you're not going to find them in this index. If you're specifically looking for obituaries in the Post-Crescent or the Appleton newspapers, you're going to want to check out our obituary index, which is a separate index from this, and you can access that at apl.org/obit. Or take a look at our video that we also have on this YouTube channel to learn a little bit more about the obituary index. While our librarians did index the newspaper prior to 1981, we unfortunately don't have any guidelines of what they included and excluded from the index, so you might note some gaps in coverage or some incomplete entries during those time periods. Then, starting in 1994, the indexing became completely electronic and is now completely web-based, available through our APL website. With all of the historic entries were now added to the index, so they're completely searchable by you. Each entry is going to feature the newspaper date, section, and page number, as well as the headline and subjects related to each article that is included in the index. For subjects, we're going to be using specific and general subjects for each headline. And in more recent entries, you might also see that there is a photo also attached with that specific article, as well as the name of who appears in that photo. Unfortunately, due to copyright restrictions, we're not able to provide electronic copies of all of the articles for you through the index, but you can request copies of those articles be sent to you via email completely for free, or you can come into the library with the information you found from the index and be able to pull up those articles on microfilm. You can also see the Post-Crescent Index website for links to several of our electronic resources, which provide some limited coverage of Post-Crescent articles that are available electronically. To search in the index, you want to start at apl.org/PC for the Post-Crescent Index. And in the search box, you can either start typing in any keyword, such as the name of a person, the name of a business, the name of a school, whatever keyword you're looking for. Or you can also click under here where it says search by subject to see what kind of subjects we would have available in the index that might be related to what you're looking for. If you do decide to search by subject, you're going to get a separate search screen that will allow you to start typing in a subject and see potential subjects that we have included in the index related to what you're typing. So for example, I started typing restaurant, so you can see as I start typing it, it's going to give me results down here. Unfortunately, this drop-down menu only gives us the first 10 results, so you want to keep typing or keep trying a more relevant subject. Instead of something more general like restaurant, you might want to type in the exact name of that restaurant that you're looking for to see if that's available for a subject. Now I'm going to show you a live demonstration of how to use the website and how to search for the relevant articles you might be looking for. So again, you're going to want to type into your browser apl.org/PC to go to the Post-Crescent Index. And so right here, you can see there's the big search bar. You can see the date of the most recent newspaper that's been entered. So you can see right here is September 23rd at this time of this recording. And this date gets updated continuously as we are adding entries to the index. Again, down here you can find a little bit more information and some links to some of those electronic resources where you might be able to find some of the newspaper articles that are also found in this index. There's also some information down here about how to find our newspaper in the library and how to request copies. You can also see some dates and the titles of the newspapers that we have in our microfilm here, and be able to learn more about that time that it became the Post-Crescent. There's also a little bit of a brief history of how our index came to be, as well as the listing of all of the things that our index does include. So going back up here, as I mentioned, you can type in any sort of keyword like a person, a business, any sort of subject that you kind of think might be included in a headline. For example, I'm going to type in Edna Ferber, who is one of our well-known Appleton authors. So typing in her name here and then clicking submit. From here, you can see the results page where you can see the date, section and page number, the headline. Again, you can see that there's a photo attached with this specific article and who is in that photo. And then over here, you'll see the subject. So this is a complete entry for the index. You can see, if you keep scrolling down, you see there are multiple articles about Edna Ferber because she was very, very popular. So you can see there's 52 records total. You could also sort by date here. So right now it's giving you the most current newspaper articles, but you could also select here to be brought to the oldest ones first. So you're able to see these oldest ones. And you can see, unfortunately, for these older ones, they didn't always include the page number, but I at least know there's going to be an article on this date in the newspaper, and I can quickly skim through those pages of the newspaper to find that relevant article. Then, if you'd like to search by subject instead, again, you can come right back to the home page and click on this button where it says Search by Subject. That's going to again bring you back into a different search screen where you can search just within the subjects. So again, you want to start typing those keywords of the subject that you think might be included. But remember to be as specific as possible because, for example, if I start typing church, it's going to give me an A to Z listing of the first 10 entries that would feature church. But for example, if I want Catholic churches, yes, that's an example here that I could click on search and see all the relevant articles for. But if I want to go back to that subject screen, maybe I want something a little bit more specific. So if I'm looking for just one of the Catholic churches, I would start typing that specific name. So for example, if I start typing St. Mary's, I can see, oh, there's actually one entry for Fox Crossing. There's an entry for the church within Appleton, and there's also an entry for the school that's within Appleton. So these are more specific subjects that I would want to select instead of that more general one of Catholic churches or just typing in church, because then I'm not going to see all of those results. But again, I would select whatever one I wanted to, click on search, and then just as before, you can see the overview of those entries. It's going to look a little bit different since there's only one subject that's going to be tying it to, but you can still see that date, section and page number, and still see those headlines. Again, you can still click up here to sort by date. So right now it's sorting by the most recent. If I click on date again, it's going to be sorting by the oldest ones. And again, giving those section and page numbers as well as those headlines. I hope that was a helpful overview for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is on the screen, kstilp@apl.org, or you can give our reference desk a call at 920-832-6173. Happy researching!